Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw, editorial director at TigerFitness.com, Muscle and Brawn Nutrition CEO. Guys, a very serious topic. I got a question from Ryan. Ryan's girlfriend has PCOS, which is Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. It can mess with your hormones, lead to all kinds of physical changes, unwanted physical changes in looks and appearance, and it can be very devastating. It can lead to things like wacky insulin, heart disease, and even diabetes. So in this video, I want to talk about how she can change her diet a little bit to help her with the insulin or possible diabetic issues. Before I get into that topic, if you have a question or comment, check out the link below. You can come on over, submit your questions. The best questions I turn into videos just like this. So I'm going to make this video as if I'm speaking to Ryan's girlfriend. With PCOS, or Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, it's something I've never heard of. Basically, the information that I was presented with is that it can lead to all kinds of hormonal changes. It can cause things down the road like heart disease or diabetes, and it can lead to unwanted physical changes. So outside of the basics of exercising, which is essential for any type of health-related issue and longevity, I'm going to move past that and just take that as a given that you are exercising. But when it comes to diet, I'm going to tell you what helped me overcome type 2 diabetes. So hopefully it will help you in the long run prevent the oncoming of type 2 diabetes. When I was extremely overweight and I was 346 pounds, I relied a lot on processed foods, crap foods, just things from boxes and cans and frozen pizzas and tortilla chips and a lot of foods you shouldn't be eating. I was eating some quality foods, obviously, but I was eating a lot of foods like that. And I came down with very, very bad type 2 diabetes to the point where my liver was not processing minerals properly, and every muscle from head to toe was cramping. I literally couldn't move without just having crazy debilitating cramps from head to toe. The heart is a muscle. The heart was not getting minerals as well. So my cramping was an indicator that if I continued to eat like I was eating, that my heart would eventually fail. I could have things like a heart attack. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on cleaning up your diet about 90%. 90% of your calories have to come from whole, clean foods, such as protein foods, beef, pork, chicken, seafood, whatever. You have to back that with a lot of quality vegetables and a lot of quality fruits. For fruits, you want to really avoid eating too much of things that have too many calories, like bananas. You want to stick to lower glycemic fruits like blueberries and strawberries. You can eat things like apples and oranges, obviously, in moderation. You just don't want to overdo. I personally didn't overdo things like bananas or the fruits that have a ton of calories from sugar. The key thing to remember here is we're trying to prevent diabetes or oncoming of diabetes. We're trying to help regulate insulin levels. So we're going to avoid things like white sugar or too much sugar. We're going to avoid things like flour, processed flour, things with a lot of processed flour, like things with breading, bread, or any type of things with like pizza crust or whatever. So baked goods, muffins, cupcakes, things like that. So we want to avoid white sugar. We want to avoid white flour. We want to kind of get away from eating things out of a box or a can that have a lot of extra ingredients in them, a lot of preservatives, a lot of junk, a lot of added fats, a lot of added sugar, a lot of added flour, a lot of added bull crap. We want to get away from that, and we want to kind of stick to the outside aisles of the grocery store where we're eating fruits, we're eating vegetables, we're eating meat. We're making better choices when it comes to salad dressings. There's plenty of low carb or low calorie options. We want to stick to mostly whole, clean foods. I would also eat some dairy. I would eat some cheese. I would eat sour cream. You want to get your healthy fats. I would eat avocado. All that stuff is good. Healthy fats are okay. You need fat in your diet for good health, for skin, for organs, for proper hormone regulation, etc. So don't hide from fats. There's a lot of misinformation out there on diabetes that fat is evil. You need quality fats. So my best advice for you is stick to 90% whole, clean foods, meats and proteins, a little bit of dairy. Make sure you get in your healthy fats. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. No white sugar, no white flour. Try to avoid things from cans and boxes or things that have too much preservatives. When you go to, say, looking for things like sour cream, there's a big difference in labels. You can look at labels and you can see like sour cream, and it'll say like ingredient, sour cream. But then you have the other stuff, which is low fat or whatever, all this modified stuff. It'll have a list of 10 to 15 ingredients. That's what we want to get away from. It's not that any one of these ingredients in these highly processed foods are necessarily bad for us, but if you're eating a lot of these ingredients, you're shoveling a lot of processed stuff in your stomach, along with a lot of white sugar, white flour, and all that kind of stuff. It's not the best for anybody's health, and it's certainly not great for somebody who's trying to properly regulate hormones and stave off diabetes. Now, this all sounds easy on paper, but once we try to eat more fruits and vegetables, it can really become a pain in the butt, because a lot of us will just boil broccoli or whatever, and we're like, oh, that tastes awful. You need to learn how to cook. You need to become a Google ninja and Google things like low carb broccoli recipe or low carb this recipe or low carb that recipe. You need to find a way to make your fruit or make your vegetables especially tasty, so you actually look forward to them. So this is going to require some effort. This is going to require some Google ninja skills, but just sitting down with a hunk of meat and a bland pile of vegetables, that is not the best way to eat. That simply isn't satisfying. So you need to look for ways to make your food tasty and satisfying while sticking to whole, clean foods. So become a Google ninja. Start all your searches with low carb, whatever. There's simple tips I can tell you. You can take any recipe that you like lasagna or chocolate chip cookies or whatever it is, and you can just Google low carb in front of that. Low carb lasagna, low carb chocolate chip cookies. There are a ton of recipes out there that are extremely satisfying, that taste amazing, that are perfect replacements for these types of foods that are stuffed with preservatives, white sugar, and white flour. So just become a Google ninja, stick to mostly clean whole foods, and exercise. You will take care of yourself. It'll help you regulate your hormones and help better regulate your insulin level and help you to stave off any consequences or minimize the damage from PCOS. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. If you've made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.